Good afternoon, everybody. How do you think has customers changed post-pandemic era, which we are talking about, VUCA era, and what are they expecting actually from the loyalty programs?
Okay, I'll try to answer this in Indian context. In my experience, there are 2-3 fundamental levers that you can play with as far as delivering experience is concerned or driving loyalty is concerned. Customers in India primarily expect you to be, number one, honest. There are far too many cases where the grievances are around, I was not delivered what I was promised, as simple as that, right? So I think brands need to be honest in delivering what they have promised, and there starts the entire experiential journey for the consumer and the customer. And I think if you have been very, very honest in dealing with your customer and delivering what you had promised in the first place, half of the battle is won there. Post-pandemic, especially because there has been a large scale, there are two changes that we have seen. One is there's a large scale adoption of messaging as a result of digitization. And therefore, chatbots or other messaging related platforms as a tool to really engage and drive experiences are gaining pace. And we do see evidences where more and more consumers are really getting onto messaging as platforms to even raise a ticket for a simple problem statement. And the second change that we have seen is really in terms of the entire omni-channel experience that customers are wanting today. Post-pandemic, a lot of brick and mortar brands also moved online and started interacting with customers online. While their journey will take a little bit time to evolve and reach to a certain point, but from a customer's perspective, the expectation is that, listen, whichever channel I'm going to interact you with, I expect similar experiences to be given to me, right? And I do expect you to know when I interacted with you through a platform A, what was the conversation before you start connecting with me on platform B. So this entire seamlessness of the process, whether in the context of omni-channel experience or otherwise, is very, very important. And that's another thing that we do see clearly customers now wanting, expecting to happen. On the platform that I work for, Just Dial, it's world's largest hyperlocal aggregator search platform. Now we onboard a lot of SMEs, a lot of MSMEs, a lot of small entrepreneurs, the shopkeepers, the distributors, the dealers on the platform. Now these guys, typically these customers, apart from wanting you to deliver, as per whatever was the promised value that was to be delivered, increasingly, they are also adopting technology, and they would want their technology, experiences led by their technology adoption to be synchronized back and kind of work together as one pool to also help them service their customers and so on and so forth, right? So this entire interplay of technology is a big deal, and I think it's also penetrating down in terms of very, very small companies, small entrepreneurs also adapting it big time and wanting to use it to enhance their business. So the question that you asked is how to expand the market, as a marketeer. Yes, loyalty programs over a period of time, I must admit, have become a very transactional tool, right? It has been, and marketers like me also have been guilty, because we have always seen this as a currency to acquire more consumers or to get the repeat visit and so on and so forth, right? There's nothing wrong in that. But I think the problem started happening where we stopped at just looking at it as a currency, or a transactional currency, and forgot that essentially the thought was to add experiences to the process. I think that's an area where we would want more solutions to come. And apart from it, there are thousands of solutions out in the market to improve efficiency of the program and to make the program deliver better to you. But all of them are very, very centered to numbers, as we were talking about. Very few partners come and tell me, listen, this is how you can enhance experience actually. And let's look at that. So can experience be a currency? Can we really monetize it? That's the big question.
As panel experts, which way would you guide the audience towards?
I would say the problem statement really is that CLPs, which is loyalty programs, have become be all and end all of the entire CX strategy of organizations. I don't think that's sufficient. CLPs are just one cog in the wheel, and yes, they should be there. It should be done efficiently. It adds a lot of value, but that's not the end of it. CX experience ultimately is everything. Okay, right from how the customer has first discovered you, right? I mean, today, if you really see more and more young customers at least experience a brand for the first time on social media, say for example. So have you got the right social media listening tool in place? Are you really listening to consumers on social media? And are you listening to, and are you acting upon it? Is that part of your CX strategy, right? The entire, sales purchase funnel, whether it's offline or online, whichever way you are adding experiences over there. And the post-sale experience, of course, where the entire grievance redressal mechanism and, other things come into play. The entire aspect of CX needs to be looked upon, and I don't think CLP is an answer for everything. Loyalty points are not an answer for everything. All the time, consumers or customers are not expecting to be rewarded with points. There are many a times when they're not looking for points. How many of us actually have accumulated so many points, but we don't redeem it to begin with, right? So points by themselves are not an end of it. The context building is also very important, as well as the real tangible value that you deliver, right? There is an example that comes to my mind. There are again, very few examples that come out of India, but this is an example from West. TD Bank, which is Toronto Dominion Bank, they ran a program, and it's a fantastic example of how do you really reward. They ran a program where they wanted to really show appreciation to their customers who have been loyal to them in terms of banking with them for a long period of time, having a large sum being dealt with through the bank and so on and so forth. Now in India, typically in our context, we limit it to just sharing few reward points and saying, okay, fine, you go ahead and redeem it, and I take care of you. What TD Bank did is they ran a program, they went ahead and they put cash back in customers' pocket. They said, thank you for banking with us. Here are your $10,000 as a appreciation gesture, right? Now, how many brands in the world actually pick up, and say, I'm giving you cash, and I appreciate really you being around, and, so there are ways to really wow a consumer. You do not need to run complicated programs all the time.
Yeah.
If the intent is there, if the mindset is there are many ways to do it.
Yeah. So while we discuss technology, we can't come to an end of our conversation without discussing how technology can really influence the loyalty, right? And I would like to just have one view from all of you in terms of what do you think is the role of technology in enhancing loyalty? And what's your suggestion to the audience in terms of use of technology to strengthen loyalty programs? So according to Vidyu, technology is humanizing and personalizing and not just reaching to them through technology. What do you think, Prasun?
Well, I would say I am all for technology. Okay, contrary to what Vidyut believes, I think we are at a stage of technological evolution where most of the interventions that you might have been doing using humans at the back can actually be replaced, and customers at large do not mind that, by and large, unless the challenge is extremely grave and to be dealt with urgency. We have seen increasing evidence of customers adopting messaging as a means to connect with brand and getting resolutions done. So that's a clear trend that is emerging. We also see, you spoke about digitization. We also see this, in a phygital world. We are clearly seeing an evidence of the seamlessness of experience that technology is bringing, is helping you sell more, okay, if that's the bottom line, okay. There are many personal examples. I'm sure all of us audiences sitting here, everyone has experienced that, right? Today, if you go to whatever name comes to my mind, if you go to a Lenskart store, or a Titan Eye Plus store, okay? And if you're looking for a pair of glasses, and you probably do not find, what you're looking for, using the digital platform, they can immediately give you a solution then and there, order, and voila, it reaches you in 24 to 48 hours, time. So that seamlessness that is coming using technology is helping, not only helping retain customers, but it's also helping in delivering newer kinds of experiences. So, and that's, very, important. In a completely digital world, right, where there's no physical interaction happening at all, we increasingly see customers, becoming more and more comfortable with, various channels that you have put, for them to reach out to you or interact with, or the way you would want to reach out to customers and interact with, and responding. For example, we run emailer campaigns at large, okay? We do WhatsApp marketing at large. And we use multiple other channels to, connect with our customers on a regular basis. In last 2 years, our metrics have improved significantly. And I would not say that we might have done something very, very dramatically different, but it's just that the adoption of technology, the ease of being with technology, and the entire, lifestyle of technology being part of my life, and therefore, I'm using it more and more. I think all of this is resulting in technology really coming at the center and, driving a lot of, interactions and experiences. So I would say the future is all technology, and the more you integrate technology, the better it would be.
So, sorry there, but I'm all for humanizing it and, looking at it from that lens.
I'll give a quick count.
Yes.
Okay. 2 examples, real life examples of how technology is helping deliver better experiences and thereby helping expand market. In my previous assignment, I was CMO for Magic Bricks, which is India's largest property portal, real estate portal. Typically, a real estate consumer in India has been the man of the house, if I can put it like that, without sounding to be sexist here, right? But the industry and the experiences related to the entire process have been fraught with so many challenges that it's largely been confined to the man of the house to do all the running and dealing with the brokers and all the legalities, paperwork, blah, blah, blah. So there are 1,000 complications involved, right? The sheer digitization of that process made, last data that I remember, the 30% searches for new houses on Magic Bricks were being done by women. Okay? Now that would not have happened in an era where digitization and technology would not have probably built new dynamics in that industry. Okay? Because technology came, eased the processes, removed the challenges, and therefore you had a new market that got opened up, which was not hitherto coming to you, and that helped the entire ecosystem. So that's one good example of how technology is helping. And on the other hand, you look at how technology drives seamlessness, and therefore it helps you drive more revenue.
More revenue on that.
All of us are used to ordering foods online, and these platforms, if you typically order food online, there's nothing, literally nothing for which you need human intervention. Even if your order is half delivered, incomplete, not customized to your taste, whatever, there is a solution on that app for everything. You just use it and the solution is there for you, right?
Correct.
So technology has evolved so much that you literally do not need to crave for human intervention, and to have the old world experiences, as I call it, to really come
I
back.
totally agree with
You
that.
should talk to my parents, by the way, who have a young kid sitting in there and they're going through his wedding pictures.
His point,
Despite-
segmentation is
Yes.
important.
That is what Vidyut wanted to mention actually.
I was coming to the fact that, on both Magic Bricks and the food ordering piece, I have a very contrarian view, because when I came back to India, it was a struggle to find a house. And believe me, I went to all the apps and sites, and everyone was showing the same apartment, no pictures. And I ended up going there and they said, oh, sorry, this has been taken, this is a fake listing. So there are these parts of the consumer experience. And I'll tell you the same about a grocery app versus a food app. In a grocery app, if something goes wrong, you're waiting like, okay, somebody's going to come and tell me what's wrong, what's wrong. In a food app, you have the delivery boy, and
Immediately.
you have somebody who calls you immediately. So that's the part about humanizing. I'm all for technology.
Humanizing-
Exactly, and I don't think technology disrupts.
Exactly.
Humans
Yeah.
do, So I think, and that's where
Yeah.
people have to change their thinking, that just for the sake of it, and correct example, right? Magic Bricks and all, a lot of times, you get very frustrated by that experience as well, where you crave for
You're not allowed to defend here. All right.
So sorry.
There's so much
Now-
I can
now
say about
since-
it.
now
Okay.
since the
You have not,
discussion is-
my brother, you have not dealt with a Chadda property dealer, face to face, to really know the value that Magic Bricks and 99 Acres brings to your life. So there's so much that can be spoken about it, I think, for some other day. But yes, I mean,
But
point
this
taken.
is what,
it's
this
not
is
that
what,
it's-
any question from anyone in the audience?
My name is Vishwanath, and I'm CEO of Sarthi. And by the way, I do agree that IVR sucks, because nobody wants to have that decision tree. Like you do this button and then they read out the entire option. So that's why we have changed this thing with the two-way interactive agents rather than one-way IVR systems, basically. Thank you for your answer.
No,
Thank
correct.
you.
IVR was very last generation, just to add to that.
Thank you.
But the point remains, to add to what, Vidyut was saying, I don't think you need to really, segregate technology for transactional purposes versus empathy driver, proposition. A consumer comes to you for resolution of a challenge, right? Resolution of a problem.
True.
And you need to use technology to solve that problem. It's as simple as that. If your technology is not helping you, if your application is not helping you solve that problem, then that technology is not good enough.
Absolutely.
Empathy is not something that is generated through technology or non-technology interventions. It's not that, how many of us call centers, and how many are very empathetic about the brand after talking to that, machine that you talk to at the other end of the, they read through a script, okay? So it's not that humans always will deliver that, okay? Empathy is a byproduct of how you solve the problem. If the problem solution process was good, it will build empathy,
True.
right? So you got to focus on that process rather than looking at whether technology is good or human intervention is good. I think both can deliver, technology can deliver better according to me. Do give me your feedback on this discussion on the comment section below, and subscribe to my channel at Guru Prasun. Thank you.